President of the United Federation of Teachers. We're here today to discuss the vaccination mandate is now fully in effect. I'm happy to report at this moment that as of about an hour ago, we're now over 97% of all UFT members are vaccinated and in their schools. Thankfully, we had that delay, which we called for, and we happened to get it because we're in much better shape today than we would have been last Tuesday. So it's once again, though, we have another clear example of, you will see it all day today, the school staffs, the teachers, the secretaries, guidance counselors, everyone working together to once again rise to another challenge. It's been almost 2 years of one challenge after the other, and you have continually seen the teachers of this city, the school communities of this city rise to each and every one of them to do what is something no one ever thought they would have to do, which is to keep our public school system open and safe during a pandemic. And we're very thankful to all of those teachers and again, those guidance counselors, paraprofessionals, and we'll see what happens today. We have a large deployment of all of the United Federation of Teacher staff as well as the Department of Education, and we have worked all of those folks I want to personally thank for working tirelessly throughout this entire weekend. So today, right now, I'd like to introduce Joshua Ming, chapter leader here, and he could talk about what's going on in his school and talk about the different things that's going on in terms of the challenges that we constantly are facing right now and everything he's doing wonderfully. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. So my name is Joshua Ng. I'm an 8th grade science teacher and UFT chapter leader at Lower Manhattan Community Middle School, right behind us. And so far, these first 3 weeks have been amazing. Our students are so happy to be back in the building. Our staff is happy to be back in the building because we know how important it is for our students to be in school. And our school name has community in it, and we knew as a staff that it's just so important that in order to be and build this community, that we need to be here together. So we're very excited that our staff has been able to get vaccinated, and we're all here and we have no staff shortages. And so our students, our families all here are really glad that this school year can continue to grow and be, somewhat normal, whatever normal is in a pandemic. So we're glad to be back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Joshua. I'd now like to ask Peter Cochio to come up. Again, these are the leaders of the schools inside of this building, and I want to thank all them personally, but all of the chapter leaders and all the union leaders in all of the buildings in New York City, because it's not been an easy job for the last 2 years, to say the least. But thank you so much. Come on up, Peter.
Thank you, Michael. I'm Peter Cochio, chapter leader at Richard R. Green High School of Teaching. We're one of the 3 buildings in the Broadway Education campus behind us. I'm a earth science teacher and an AP environmental science teacher. And I just want to say it's been so amazing to be back in person with our students. A lot of our students really struggled last year when they weren't in school, and it's a totally different ballgame now. And I think this vaccine mandate is the first step in making sure that we stay open this year and that we don't have to go to remote again, because we know this is the way schools should be run. So I agree with everything that Joshua just said. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And I'd now like to ask Billy Ferraro to come on up and give us a few words, please.
How you doing? I'm Billy Ferraro. I'm the chapter leader and history teacher at Urban Assembly School of Business for Young Women. Our school has 100% vaccination rate for our teachers and a great rate for our students. The kids are happy to be back. We're happy to be back in the classroom. The kids are learning. The community is being rebuilt, and it's a great time to be here. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we are very fortunate today to be joined by our national president, who has been across this country seeing school openings, seeing schools dealing with all sorts of challenges, but she is always a New Yorker first and foremost, Ms. Randy Weingarten. Come on up, Randy.
Thank you, Michael. So what the 3 chapter leaders just said, what Michael just said, that's what I'm seeing around the country. Number 1, kids want to be back in school in person. and we all want to stay back in school in person, which means that still, because we're in a pandemic, the safety protocols are the way to be in and stay in. And that's why we are super, super, super vigilant about the safety protocols, from vaccines to masks to physical distancing to actually making sure you have a good outbreak and quarantine process, because we want to stay in. But what you're seeing across the country, and you heard it from these leaders and teachers, is that we know in-school learning works. And our members around the country and in New York City one more time stepped up to make sure we can be in school. 97% of them here have been vaccinated. They know that that is the single most important way to stay in school. We have been standing up vaccine clinics throughout the country. We've been knocking on doors to get kids back. We know being in school is important, but you need to have partners here. And that means every place where things have worked well, there's been a real partnership with management, where management is working with us hand in hand to plan. And if I can say one thing, is that the last 3 weeks have been really chaotic here. We need to make sure, whether it is Bill de Blasio in his final days or whether it is the new mayor, we need to have a real partnership in schools so that kids can thrive and that the educators can have the tools and conditions they need to help the recovery of kids right now. Thank you.
All right, we'll take questions now.
Michael, Randy just said that it's been chaotic.
Yes.
How?
Well, first of all, you're doing a vaccine mandate on October 4th. School opens in September. If the city was, if the mayor knew he was going to do a vaccine mandate, it would have been it would have been smart to do it in the summer, and let's deal with it then. It's tough enough now that we went from 350,000 students to close to 900,000 students. We're not sure. We don't get the exact attendance from them. But then to have this additional challenge of staffing and all of that within the first month of the school year, it's not the right way to do this. I mean, thankfully, this did not go into effect last Tuesday. I can stand here today with confidence in saying there's a real plan in place. People know what to do. If there's a problem, they know exactly how to deal with it and who's going to help them. That was not the case last Tuesday. So yes, chaotic would be the nice way of putting it. It was really not too smart to do it this way.
Are you confident that there will be enough substitutes to fill the gaps?
I'm confident in the schools and the teachers and the staffs. What they've been through, I'm angry that they keep getting one challenge after the other, but they keep rising to those challenges each and every time. So that's a testament to them, to those school communities, to the principals, the teachers, the paraprofessionals, the guidance. That's a testament to what they have done. It's not City Hall, because City Hall seems to just keep putting one challenge after the other in front of us.
They were saying on Friday that the deadline was at 5 o'clock, and we're hearing it was pushed back to midnight. Say you're a teacher and you missed that deadline, but you got it on Saturday. You go to work today.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I think we've approximately close to another 1,000 people were vaccinated over the weekend who are in schools working today. So yes.
Michael, so the 97% is obviously a big number, but there are a number of your members who have taken off their payroll today.
Yep.
As we speak. What is that number? And I'm sure you have some veteran teachers who are in that position today with the members of your union. What would you say to them?
Look, as a union, it's always about, first and foremost, the workers' rights and their profession and protecting all of those things. So I'm happy about 97%, but I wish it was 100%, because as a union leader, all the things we've dealt with, we haven't lost anyone, has not lost their ability to have their livelihood, and today that has happened. So for me, as a union leader, that's a sad thing, but I have to focus more on the people who are vaccinated right now to keep them safe. And that's why, again, we go back to the original question, the chaos, the fact that we had to go to an arbitration we had to go to an arbitration because of the way that the city originally did its Department of Health order was illegal, and that's the only way we could get those things straightened out was to go to an arbitration. And that's unfortunate. I wish that didn't have to happen, and I don't want anyone to lose their ability to have their livelihood.
Is there a number of teachers? I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
What happens if a teacher decides to get vaccinated today? Some of those unvaccinated.
They can go to work tomorrow.
They can.
Yes.
It's not too late.
It is not it's a little under 4,000 of the approximate 121,000 UFT members who work in schools. We're under 4,000 people who are not vaccinated. And at any time, if they get vaccinated, they can go back to work the following day.
How many substitute teachers do you know
Well, at this moment, since we know we're under 4,000, I'm assuming it's under 4,000. But the Department of Education on Friday did send out a deployment notice to all its non-school-based staff were redeployed for this morning.
Do principals have I know it last we had read about that in a
No, it's really it's quite simple. We have these things. It's just you fill it out in the morning, and you're vaccinated. You're good to go. And so that's how you work it. It's really you get your green check.
What happens if a teacher that's unvaccinated shows up to the door?
They're not going to be able to go into the building.
Are you aware of any staff members on Staten Island or any issues not?
We're concerned, especially in our District 75 sites, where we have some of our most challenging students who really need a lot of help and support. That was the area of concern throughout Saturday and yesterday, making sure, especially on the southern tip of Staten Island.
What about the security officers? Are there enough security?
No, so this is what the city, this is what the Department of Ed and City Hall didn't, they didn't grasp the situation that we were short almost 1,500 school safety agents going into the school year. So this just compounded the entire problem that we were already facing. School safety, as we know, has been a political football throughout the last 2 years, and the morale of that unit is quite low because of how they've been treated both by City Hall and the City Council.
Michael, teachers aren't interchangeable. Subjects
No.
aren't interchangeable. Is there a concern that you have a teacher with no experience in a particular subject teaching that subject today?
Yeah. That is today. That's what we're going to find out more, and we'll be able to drill down a little bit better. We have a war room set up at the UFT, and we'll be able to see exactly. Today, it's about safety first. We have given flexibility in our contract for this week. With the last thing we want to happen is the school to be put in a situation where they might have to combine classes inside of one room for safety reasons. So that's what we're trying to avoid. We've given a great amount of flexibility for our members who normally would not be covering a classroom. Schools have the ability to do that today. Our members were fine. Everybody was clear. It's about making sure that we don't put a school in a situation where they have to make a tough choice, when no matter what they do, it's a bad choice. So that's what we're trying to avoid right now. We'll drill down more over the next couple of days on the substitutes and what subject and grade level we want to get the appropriate people in there.
Anything else?
You have a message for our families. Because vaccinated teachers, but not for the kids. You have a message for parents.
My message to everyone in this city, is the teachers have said from the beginning, our goal is to get through this pandemic, and that's what we want. We want because we spend our lives educating children and caring for them. We call them our kids for a reason, because they really do become your kids as a teacher. That's what happens. And we want to get through this pandemic. That's all we want. And we want our children, the kids that we serve, to be able to have some sort of, normalcy once again. And that's what we're asking all parents and everyone. We know it's highly charged politically, but in the end, we got to get through this thing. And look at the damage that's being done across our city. But just think about all of the children. I mean, today we have a couple of high schools here represented. Just imagine, the seniors in high school this year are so happy because they thought their entire high school career was going to be wrecked by a pandemic. But we want to get back to normal, and that means everyone's got to pitch in and do the right thing.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very concerned about school safety right now.
Michael, how many of your members sought exemptions for religious or medical and
3,000.
and
We're trying to get to the final number now. We're close to 1,000. Most of them are medical accommodations. Those are people who've been vaccinated but don't have they have no immune system at this point.
All right. Everything out. Go like one.
Anyone speak Spanish by any chance?
Don't have one.
I guess not.
Ryan, anyone?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.